The Global Ghost Hunt, to me, is an opportunity to bond with teams from all around the world and share together in an amazing experience over the course of 10 days, investigate the best locations around the world and share evidence and share the experience, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Teams and locations should be signing up to this, to be part of something special. You get to work with some of the best investigators around the world, visit some of the most beautiful locations, and for the locations themselves, get put on the paranormal map. Get known as somewhere that's an exciting place to be. Active or not, teams would love to go there, love to give you some exposure, and let's all have fun along the way.
What was that?
I
didn't tell you I was going to put that up.
No, you did not. That was a nice little touch.
Yeah, for people that are in the room right now, Lex is having a problem with his eye. He has some issues with his eye, so he can't really have a bright light. So everybody meet Ken Allen Jr. is with us today. And
Nice.
Raymond is in the room. Raymond, are you still in the room? Because I got a little surprise for you as well. And what do you think? We should play it?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I think we should too. So Raymond, here you go, buddy.
What the Global Ghost Hunt means to me, it's just a very cool opportunity to not only get to check out new teams and how they investigate worldwide, but also the locations that they have to offer, not just in different states that I haven't been able to visit, but, worldwide. There's so many awesome, involved, and that is one of my favorite subjects, always has been. And that's what draws me even more into paranormal investigating, because it's like speaking to the past and getting, having that conversation with people that lived before us. But as far as, what it offers for teams, you get to, be broadcasted live. So all these other people have a chance to see how you investigate. It'll all be centralized in one spot. So, it's easier to share out for everybody. You get to watch the other teams. And also, we're just here to support them, support the locations, and do anything we can to help promote them further, especially the locations, especially the ones that are being torn down or being neglected. And, we just want to see that work out better for everyone.
I'm sure he's going to appreciate us playing that video.
Raymond, I like the video. I like it. I like what Raymond had to say. Apparently, Raymond doesn't, and he doesn't like what he said. But that was a little not. I don't want to say a jab, because that's not right. But you're always messing around with Lex, so we figured we would mess around with you a little bit and show that. So, and we do have some people in the room today, and thank you for coming in. We have Chrissy. Please listen. When Chrissy talks, please listen to her. And obviously here is Raymond, and Nando's in the room. Hey, Nando. Ashley's in the room. That is part of Raymond's group now. And I just hate to hear myself. And there you go. I just hate to hear myself talk. No, you're good. Your voice is nice. You got a nice voice, buddy. You should do some audiobooks from your books. I think that would be really good. Before we get started, hi Chantel. Before we get started, I want to show this. Okay, so let me just get here. I want to show this today. This is going on tonight. So it's a global ghost hunt party. It's going to be, I believe it's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. PETA and Jen are hosting it, so that will be on tonight at 8 o'clock. So hopefully everybody can stop by and see that. We'll have a bunch of people on there. I know Patty's going to be there. I'm going to be there. There's going to be some other global ghost hunt people, and we'll see who else is going to be there. So that should be a fun night tonight. So yeah. So hopefully you guys can stop by. And Alia, thank you so much for saying that. Let me just get to the comments. Thank you so much for saying that. Really, really, really appreciate that. And I'm assuming you're out of the hospital, hopefully. Raymond's going to be there tonight. So it should be a lot of fun. So today, World Cup final.
I know.
Argentina and France. Yes. Meanwhile, to get that out. You know that when I went up 2-0, I going, okay. Because there were a couple of calls, and I know you and we talked about this before we came on live. You disagreed, and I thought the calls were going in favor for Argentina, to be honest. And but I felt like around the 70-minute mark, the 75-minute mark, 75, I felt like France was coming on.
I don't. I think they came on after the penalty. That was it. They just
you think?
As soon as they got one.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like something was coming, and when they scored that, I knew they'd get one. I knew we were talking about this a few weeks back. Canada having the quickest goal in the World Cup, but now France did because. They had the two quickest goals. I think it was 92 seconds.
82 seconds.
82 seconds. So, but yeah, that was great. That was great. Now, unfortunately, I missed the 20 minutes or the 10 minutes or whatever it was because I had to take Max out for a walk of extra time.
Yeah.
And but I heard when I got back the 2 goals. But Argentina with the win. Congratulations on the World Cup.
Yeah, it was insane. That was like I watched the whole thing and I was on the edge of my chair.
Yeah. Messi finally got his World Cup, and I think that completed his career right there. To be honest,
What's that? He's completed the game.
Yeah. So I think he's going to be. I think he's going to go down as one of the best players to ever play.
Yeah, 100%. He's the greatest player in the game right now. So, but I won't take away from Kylian Mbappe for France.
Yes.
The first
4 goals in a game.
3.
Well, he got the penalty shot, right?
Yeah, shootouts don't count.
Yeah, well, he still got 4 goals.
He did, so, but to get a hat trick in a World Cup final is the first time since England's Geoff Hurst did it in 1966.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very, very good record for him. And he's only 23 years old, so he's got at least another 4 World Cups, so he'll be back.
Yep.
It was very exciting.
Yep. They will they be in the Euros? I believe they will, right?
France will, yeah.
Yeah. So, and we get to see them. We'll get to see them in North America for the World Cup in 2026.
That's if they qualify for the World Cup.
If they qualify.
Which I'm sure they will.
We know Italy won't.
Well,
we know Italy won't.
No, I hope they don't.
They won't. You know, I've been on the Italy kick for some reason. I don't know why.
Yes, has an Italian hurt you, Brian? What's going on?
Yes, actually, one did. She was an ex-fiance.
See, I got to be nice to Italians because Nadine's got some Italian blood in her. So
Okay, well, I have a little bit in me myself as well. I don't know if you know that or not.
I don't know that.
I
no.
did. I do. I did. I do. I do. From my father's. I've never met my father, but from my father's background, supposedly there's a little bit of Italian. Are you smoking?
No,
Are you smoking in your place? You don't smoke in
No.
your place.
no.
I see. I saw it. What is that?
It's a watermelon vape one, so I can smoke
Ah,
one.
okay.
So because I can't smoke on the show, so I have to go
Okay.
outside
Why can't you smoke on the show?
because I'm inside my flat.
Okay. So, okay, well, that's fair. So we got a great show today. We have Anthony
We do.
from, Texas Wraith Hunters.
It's a
I
great
always wanna
name,
say
by the way.
Wrath, but it's Wraith.
Wraith. Yeah.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing. Wrath.
No, it's just take the I out of it and you spell the word
It's
Wrath.
Brian. It's a Brian thing.
It's a Brian thing.
It's a Brian thing. So I think Anthony's smoking a vape too. I think we all have vapes here. I have a vape. What flavor is that? You got
Watermelon.
watermelon.
Yeah.
Mine is something with berries. We'll ask Anthony what he has.
Yeah.
He looks like a watermelon guy.
Well, I got this one for work because I couldn't get out at the restaurant for smoke breaks because of how busy it's been. So Nadine bought me one for work.
Anthony looks like a watermelon or blueberries. I can see him smoking blueberries. Yeah?
Blueberries, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. I have a vape, but it helps me sleep. Wink, wink. Okay, we know what kind of vape that is. That's by Joanne. From, I believe Joanne lives in Quebec.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Joanne. So we got a great show today, Anthony. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I have interviewed Anthony before on Parapost Live when he was bringing up his podcast, his new podcast to Parapost Network Central. So I got the opportunity, and you know what I think is great is with Anthony. Like we always saw him in the room for the show,
Yeah.
and everybody else's show, and now he has his own show. He took the plunge and decided to start his own show, and I'm glad he did. His show's good. I like his background. I like his room.
It's cool, isn't it?
It is.
I
It is
like it.
cool. I think I need to do something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we both. do.
Well, my Charlie Brown Christmas tree in the back there is not bad.
all I need is this black background and this,
Yes.
and we're all good.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I showed the video today, because people aren't going to really see your face.
No, and
So
this.
I showed that video today. What's that?
My
what is
Christmas jumper.
You're wearing a Christmas jumper?
I wear one every single day in December until Christmas Day. I get a different one for every day.
That's weird.
It's not weird.
It's a little bit weird. I got to get a jumper. I got to get one for myself, and I got to get one for Max, because Jenny Sullivan is doing a show on the 22nd, and everybody has to wear a jumper.
I'll mail you one of mine. I've got so many.
Well, I don't think we'll get here in time, but I don't even know where to find one.
And
then turn around and spend the money on it when I'm going to wear it once.
That's why you do it like I do. One for every day of this month. And
Well, I'm going to wear it once for about an hour and a half.
Well, that's worth the sacrifice, really.
Well, I guess, yeah. So for the people in the room, if you have not met Anthony, Anthony has a podcast on Parapost Network Central. He also belongs to a group called the Texas Wraith Hunters, paranormal investigation group. And
I
we're gonna
wonder if
talk
they're
about
from
that today.
Texas.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was from Seattle?
It must be like Missouri.
Seattle. He's from Seattle. His group's called Texas. Maybe they like Texas. Just get a red one and wear it all year round. That's Ashley. That's good. That's good. But you know what? To be perfectly honest, I don't think I'm going to feel comfortable in one.
I'm also going to say red is not your color, Brian.
No.
No, you look good in white and black is pretty good on you.
Yeah. You know who looks good in red?
Who?
My son.
Oh, really?
Red is his color. That's his color because his mother was a little bit. She has some far back. She has some Indian in her background, not native Indian, actual Indian, East Indian kind, I think.
Yeah.
Far back. So she kind of. My son goes outside and stands outside for 10 minutes and gets tanned.
Oh, nice.
Make it a tradition. Wear it every Christmas week. Well, you know what? I can. It's bad enough. I already got the jokes about the zipper and Sparky and stuff like that. I don't need a joke about my jumper.
Why not?
Well, first of all, it's not called a jumper here. It's called a one-piece pajama.
That's lame.
That's what it is. Okay, so I think we're battling here. So let's
We are.
Yeah, let's bring up Anthony. I'm looking forward to talking to him. So everyone, without further ado, here is Anthony.
How's everybody going?
How's it doing?
Right now we're staying here. So
It's a Texas thing. Hey, I'm on here with Brian and Ken. Man, oh my gosh.
Ken Jr.
Ken Jr.
Yeah, Ken Jr.
He just got to fade in and out. That's it. Just fade in and out.
So
There you go.
just to clarify, you are from Texas.
I am from Texas.
You are from Texas. So it's not like you're from, Kansas City or Seattle or something like that. You're just a fan of Texas.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. So now I've heard a lot of stories about Texas. What is Texas really like?
Hot.
Yes.
As you
Is
know.
it known for its hair?
For its hair?
Yeah, big hair.
Maybe
Or was that in the 80s and 90s?
Yeah, that's back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had big hair.
Well, no, it's meant for women that have.
Oh yeah, back in the 80s when I was in high school.
What about now? Well, I heard now is some of the women still have big hair.
No, I haven't seen any.
Lots of hairspray.
Yeah,
our ozone layers.
because
that's the reason why our ozone layer is so.
Because Texas missed
it's
it
because
up.
of Texas and the hairspray.
Could be.
Yeah. Well, that was a bad problem here in Canada too. Like back in the 80s, it was hair, big hair, and a lot of hairspray. So, and Dippity Doo hair gel.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Dippity Doo?
We had a lot of the Jerry curl thing going back here.
I think Dippity Doo had a lot to do with that.
Where it's dripping.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Jackson look. So Lex is in the dark again. Yes. Lex is in the dark again. Lex, for Facebook user, Lex has a little bit of an eye infection. And bright light is hurting his eyes.
It's not an infection.
It's an infection.
You have an infection.
Oh, look.
I have nerve damage in my right eye. And as I get older, it's getting worse.
Well, it's nice to see Victor's not a Facebook user today.
No, he's not. He's all signed up. Good boy.
But you know what? Chris is. Chris is the Facebook user.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sign up.
I'm mad at Chris. I'm mad at Chris right now.
Why?
I'm mad at Chris.
Why?
I'm mad at him. I posted something on his group page and he removed it. So I'm mad at Chris. Don't talk to me, Chris. Just kidding. So Anthony, I'm okay, Victor. Calm down there. Calm down. That's great, man. I like that. So Anthony, thank you for coming on today's show. I appreciate that. Now this has been in the works for about
3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. And it all started because of the World Cup.
Which I don't even know anything about.
What's that?
You don't watch the World Cup? Which I don't know anything about.
What's your sport?
I don't have a sport.
Really?
Nope.
Really? You're not even into like college football or something like that?
I can't stand football.
Wow.
I can't even stand this. I can't stand
this. Because you're from Texas. College football in Texas is big, is it not?
Yeah, it's big. But I mean, for me, I can't even stand the sound of it.
Really? Interesting.
The only sport that I've ever been into was drag racing. And
Okay, which is another big sport,
right, yeah,
in the
that
States,
is
right? Especially in the southern states.
right. And I still have 2 race cars. I just haven't had time to do it anymore.
Oh
I
my
kind of got
goodness,
away
is
from
this
it.
true? Is this true, Anthony? Is this true?
Yeah, I gang bang with the ghost now, Vic.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna snatch you up. We're gonna both go gang bang on the ghost.
You know, I really have to find that. I really have to find that picture of the 2 spirits on the bed screwing each other. I really have to find that picture.
Yes, you do.
Yes. Once I find it, I'm going to bring it up on a show because it's really actually kind of cool. Yeah, 2 spirits screwing on the bed. I don't know why they were on the bed, to be honest.
Is it an actual picture?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe it.
Jesus, take the wheel. Yes.
I like.
Thank you, Drew. I appreciate that. Yes, people, I hit 1,000 followers on YouTube. Thank you very much, Drew. I appreciate that. And Jesus, take the wheel. Is that not a Carrie Underwood song?
Yeah. Jesus, take the wheel.
Who sang that? Who was that?
No idea.
Was that you, Anthony?
Oh, that was me. I just
that was
sang
Lex.
it.
Yeah.
That was good. Where was that ghost hunt? Yeah, well, I'd like to know too. The bed is more comfortable for spirits. Come on. Yes, it is her song. Anyways, other than that,
And you did guess it right, Brian. I do have watermelon juice.
see?
Way.
Yeah.
Good guess.
It's actually one of these right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's my sensitive powers.
That's one of
Hey,
them.
people, I just want to let everybody know I am now a psychic.
Yeah.
I am going to start broadcasting that like everybody else is. Every other
like,
person on social media.
And I like I like a Lexus little vape over there. It's cute.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. So I have this one.
Yeah.
Not that one. Well, I'm pretty sure they didn't feel the bed, to be honest. So, you know, it's interesting. I just thought of something. So I got a new video coming up tonight on my other channel, Miles from Home. So at the beginning of every video, I'm actually talking about the video, and then I have an interesting thought before you watch the video. So yesterday I put up the video up on YouTube, and I have an interesting thought before I get to the actual video. And my thought was, life is really simple. It's social media that makes it complicated.
Yeah. Life's really simple. There's only 2 certainties in life. You pay taxes and you die. That's just how simple it is.
Well, that's because you're morbid and you're negative. Yes, it's true. So that is the saying at the end of my little spiel I do at the beginning of the video. So I do one. It's an interesting thought that I put out there. Like I did one a few weeks ago, and I said, "Don't let yesterday use up today," which I love. I love that saying. I say it to myself every single day, and because it's true. You shouldn't let things that happened yesterday affect you today. And I love that saying.
What about if you get hit by a truck?
Now what I said a few seconds ago was true. The negative inside. The negative inside. You know,
I don't know. I gotta agree with Lex.
Yeah.
But I was thinking the same thing. Kind of like, what happens if
okay, well, see, that's the difference.
Yesterday I got shot, but today I'm healed. I'm just walking around.
See, that's the difference between myself and you two. Like, I'm a positive thinker. You guys are negative thinkers. So,
I'm definitely negative. 100%.
Oh, I know you're negative. I was around it for a month.
I'm the poster child.
The guy would give me shit if I was driving the way. If I was driving, well, keeping in mind, I've never driven in England before, so it was all brand new to me. And then on top of that, I'm driving manual. So if I was driving automatic, it would have been different. but manual puts a whole new perspective on things. So not only am I trying to figure out the roads and the roundabouts, on top of that, I have to drive manual.
And on the
So
wrong side
there's
of
a
the road.
lot going on here. It was very overwhelming at times. And then Lex didn't help the situation when he yelled at me.
Do you drive on the right side of the road in Canada?
Well, we do drive on right side, depending if you're going north or south or east or west. It's true. Am I wrong?
Oh.
It's true. No, in England, it's on if you're. Well, again,
We're on the left side of the
depending
road.
if you're going the north or south. If you're going north or south, to be honest.
No, the direction of your car.
Yeah, so it's on the left side that they drive. We drive on the right side.
Okay.
So
you're good.
Which means the car interior
which supposedly is the
other way
right
around.
way. Which supposedly is the right way when it comes to Lex.
Well, yeah.
I just can't wait for Lex to come here and drive.
I can't even drive here. What are you on about?
Yeah, I know. Or Nadine too. Well, I can let you drive. I can let you drive my car.
You trust me with that?
I trust you with my life.
That's a friend. That's a friend.
love.
Poor judge of character.
Apparently. Anyhow, other than that, well, again, I want to say thank you for coming on today's show. I really, really appreciate it. We're all over the place today. I don't know why that's happening. I have no idea why that's happening. So, Mr. Anthony.
Mr. Bryan.
Lex, you want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start. Can
Yeah,
you first, unusually we'll change the first question. Can you explain your group name to us?
The group name, well,
Other
Texas,
than the Texas bit.
yeah,
we can
Texas
add
got added because it's Texas, and I really didn't want to do it. Wraith came from actually came from my race car, my race car.
Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, back not too long ago, I guess, we have a lot of street racing out here, and of course, it's not legal. So it used to just, I could always, we get chased by the authorities, and they would just disappear. So it's a ghost. That's what a wraith is. So I actually named my car the Wraith. And when I was here communicating on what to call this group, all the names are taken: ghost hunters, ghost chasers, everything's taken. So you're trying to get something different, you want something different. So I just thought about it. Well, hey, why don't I just name it after my car? It's a Wraith, it's a ghost. So I just named it Wraith, then Wraith Hunters, and then added Texas, and there you go.
Now, when you thought of that name, when you thought about putting that name together, was there any thought in the fact that there are the Wraith chasers out there?
I did. I did
yeah,
Tennessee Wraith Chasers, and I get a lot from it. I get confused a lot with them, in which I'm always saying I am not affiliated with them. I don't want to be affiliated with them. I have nothing to do with them. I know who they are, and so no.
Yeah.
And even now when I do my TWH, because they got TWC, I see it, but I mean, what can you do? Hey, I'm from Texas.
And I want to point out what Drew said. See, Brian is nice, but I'm not going to be nice here for a minute. So bear with me. To be perfectly honest, when I see the other guys, the chaser guys, I don't know what it is about them, but I find them very annoying.
They are.
I find them very arrogant and very annoying.
I've
to be honest,
I've spoken to one. I forgot his name. It's the bald guy. He used to be in law enforcement.
Yeah. Oh, see, now that explains everything.
And they were talking. Him and his girlfriend were talking about how everyone has stolen their ideas, or say like their sayings. You know what I mean? Like somebody says, you got some groups that go in there and they're known for going in there and saying hello, hello. They even got it on their shirts.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony. You might know this. Lex, you might. Are they the ones that had something to do with the fake or the white mouse or the white mouse in the basement. I think they were the group that did that. That there was, and which is the weird thing, there's no white mice in Texas, or is a white rat or something like that. Were they the ones? Did you hear about that story?
No, I really
I think it
didn't
was
watch
on their
it too
one. I
much.
think it was on one of their videos, and they had a dead rat. It was in the basement or something. It's something to do with a rat or a mouse or something like that. That was white, and there's no white mice or rats in Texas, anyways. So where the hell did it come from? Anyways, I think it was one of those. I think it was one of those groups.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody knows in the chat, please.
Are these the guys that are on Travel Channel?
Yes. They're in the haunted house. I mean, not haunted house.
Yeah.
Haunted towns.
So I don't think I've had the pleasure of watching any of this shit. So
Yeah, well, I would, because you could probably name them as one of our last in our last segment of the show.
I'll look into it.
Because I know they have in the past, or that's what I was told. I think that's one of the reasons why the brothers split up, right? Is because one of the brothers wanted to do more faking and the other one didn't. I think that's something along that lines is what happened. Same thing had happened in Ghost Adventures too with Nick, whatever his last name, Groff or Roth or whatever it is. I think
is that the dude that's related to the woman I shat on a few weeks ago?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And supposedly, our favorite person, Mr. Omar, is going to be doing something with him. Which
I cannot wait.
Which told me a lot there. If you're hooking up with Omar Goss, then I'm sorry. Then you're obviously embellishing or faking your videos as well. Because why would you bring on a known faker to your show? It's the exact same thing with Mo. Why would you give Mo Sargi a show, knowing he's the number one faker out there?
Because it's all for clout chasing.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyways, so a question I want to ask you, Anthony, how did you get into the paranormal? What's your origin story?
The paranormal for me has just been my life. I've been like that since I was a kid, 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
And so that just, of course, being able to see spirits and I've heard this a lot from a lot of paranormal people. This is where they got their first initiation. Was it just started happening, and I started getting older, growing up, having to deal with that. It was real hard for me to be around people. Well, it was another thing. I would pick up on their feelings. The malls or Walmart, anything like that, I could not go in. And it was just recently, maybe like 5-6 years ago, that I finally got a handle on that, where I can be around crowds. Because it's not that I get anxiety. In a way I do, but it's not that type of anxiety. It's just that I pick up everybody's emotions. And so along with that and seeing, spirits and when I got in my teenage years, well, not teenage years, already about 17, 18 years old. I think my first time that I played with the Ouija board was when I was 18. And with me, it's been not a bad relationship. I still own them. I still use them. And the first time it was a bad experience, but it was, and I really don't like even to say that. It was an experience that happened kind of like you go out there and you're doing something that you don't know anything about and you get hurt, Like if you try to drive a car, like racing, you just can't get out there and race just because you drive a car. If you do, you're probably going to die, So it's like that. And then, I got around a lot, I learned a lot of things from a lot of different people, and just constantly was through all the years, I was always out somewhere. I didn't know it was investigating at the time. Of course, like, we've said before, back in them days, you couldn't talk about these things. It wasn't until the TV shows came out, 15 years ago, Paranormal State, Ghost Adventures, Tab Them. that really started opening
Yeah.
that door. Love them or hate them, they open up that door to the world, to the paranormal.
That's one of the shows that I really, really liked was Paranormal State.
Yeah.
I really, really liked that show. And, what's her name was on that show
I think it was Amy. Wasn't it?
No, the medium. What's her
Oh,
name?
yeah. Yeah,
Her name's slipping my mind now. Can't remember her name. Please, somebody.
Katrina?
I know Raymond. What was the woman's name? It was on Paranormal State. The medium.
Katrina.
Warren. What's her name? Warren. Her last name's Warren.
Oh, Lorraine.
Lorraine Warren. Thank you. I really, really liked that show. That would to me was probably one of the most legitimate paranormal shows that was on TV at that time. Ghost Hunters and Ghost Ventures. I think you know what the thing about Ghost Adventures, and I know everybody talks about him and stuff like that, and how much he fakes and stuff like that. But when his show first came out, he was not faking it. He wasn't faking it at all. He was actually pretty legit. But for some reason, he got into faking because of ratings, and
it's because
other ghost hunting shows were coming on and taking away his audience, and that's why they ended up getting ridiculous.
It's also because he created a brand, and the only way to keep a brand is to keep topping yourself every single year with new stuff. So he had to.
And I get that. But when he first came out, there weren't a lot of ghost hunting shows on. So he really didn't have to do all that. It wasn't until like Ghost Hunters came on and other ones started coming on. That's when he had to up his game because he needed to keep his audience. But I think when he first came on, he was pretty legit, along with Paranormal State, and then Ghost Adventures came on, and they were pretty legit too. But then somewhere in between, they went awry, and I'd be honest. I'm not a fan of Amy Bruni and Adam, the other guy that have kindred spirits. I'm not really a fan of that show, to be honest. So I've watched it a few times, and I don't know. I just can't get into it. I find that it drags on. It drags on and on and on. Have you ever seen Kindred Spirits?
Yes.
Yeah.
They do the Estes method a lot.
Yeah. Lex, have you seen Kindred Spirits?
No, I haven't. No.
You can see it on Discovery. They're on Discovery Plus. I for some reason I just can't get into that show. I've tried to watch it a few times, and it just drags on and on and on and on. It's like watching a video on YouTube. When people put up their paranormal videos up, and they leave in the video a lot of dead time, which they can easily take out. And the video ends up being an hour and a half, and you don't need that length of time. People tune out very, very quickly. But overall, it's it's just difficult because there's so many of them out there now. They have to up their game a little bit, and maybe not in the best way, or usually a negative way. But unfortunately, that hurts us, the ones that are actually going out there and doing real investigations. So anyhow. So is it my question or your question? I believe it's yours, Lex, right?
Mine. So can you tell us a little bit of your last investigation?
The last investigation that we did, that it was about a month ago. It was at the OP Powerhouse in Mineola, Texas. That place there is a 2-story house. It's got a huge attic in there, and was supposedly have 19 spirits in there.
Nice.
And plus one main spirit. And that house goes back to the 1900s or something like that, where it used to be a brothel. But every room in that house, it's been remodeled back to its original look. But every room in that house was supposed to have had a spirit, and it is active. Not as active as well, at least for me, it wasn't that active because they put me in the house that's behind it. Because what the story was is before it was a brothel, they housed inmates, or they had inmates there with one inmate that was in charge of them, which they call the boss man, and he would beat them and treat them bad and everything. Well, after he died, I guess he still ruled that location. And I'm one that does. Okay, and I know people don't. I provoke, but I don't provoke every spirit. Now, like this spirit here was supposed to have been a bad spirit. I mean, a bad person in life. So if it's like a serial killer or a child killer or something like that, then yes, I don't have any. You're not going to have any respect for him in life, and I'm not going to have any respect for him in death. So if I go somewhere and that is there, then I'm going to challenge it. I'm not going to take off my shirt, but I'm going to challenge it. You know. Now that's just what I'm more drawn to. I'm more drawn to that type of spirit. And so when this location was like 6 hours, 6.5 hours from me, so it was a pretty good drive. But it was many groups that were going, so we all met up there, and it was kind of like a little small event. And so I challenged that spirit. He was called the Boss Man, and I challenged him from here. I guess remotely challenged him, and what's funny about it is when I get there, I didn't know that they were going to separate us and put us in two or one or two in each room, and they ended up putting me in the house where he's supposed to be at. So that was pretty funny to me. Even though they had about 8 more other investigators in there, and they were saying that he was there and he was appearing or whatever, it wasn't really as much as I thought it was going to be. Now, my other investigator, he did get a lot of activity, and so did the other. Oh, we did end up doing a Ouija board session in the attic, because the attic, they had turned that attic into. It's kind of crazy because the attic is huge, and inside, and it's like one big room, but it has different little sections where the people have turned it into like they would have people come in, and you could go in there and do your thing in each little section, and like a psychomanthium. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that.
No, I'm not. No.
Okay, well, so they go in there and did that. So we did a Ouija board session where we had 4 girls come through, 4 young girls, and they gave us their names. But there was one, the person, there was another spirit there that wouldn't let them leave. He kept them trapped in there, and what it was is that a lot of people were tripping and falling. I almost fell down the staircase, and those staircases in that house were like those movie staircases where they fall down and they die when they hit the ground.
Oh yeah.
You know, I always used to see that as a kid. I was like, how do they always die when they fall down the steps and they're always dead? Well, yeah, now I finally seen the kind of staircases that is, yeah, you fall off of that one, you're going to be, yeah, you're not going to come up. And I feel like something pushed me when I was walking down. Well, then not just me. We ended up finding out there was several people that were feeling that they were getting pushed. And when I was with another friend of mine who's also a paranormal investigator, and he was channeling through the Ouija board as it was moving, and the girl was talking through there, and she was saying that she got left there by her parents, because back in the day when the parents couldn't take care of the children, they would sell them. And
Wow.
or yeah, they would sell them, and so they gave her up to this man. Of course, this man had sex workers, you know. That's when it turned into the brothel. And yeah, that one right there was pretty intense because my camera, I have a pretty sturdy tripod, and it knocked my tripod. It knocked my camera over right off from the bat. It killed the second battery right off the second camera. It killed it also. We had very hard time getting video. I had to do it off my iPad, and but the girl that was talking through him, she was saying, her name was Lisa. She was saying that when they would get pregnant, that the man would push them down the staircase, so they would lose the baby. Because if they're pregnant, then they're useless to them. And It was really intense. That one really has stayed with me. even just like a week ago, I was thinking about it, and every time I talk about it, I get emotional about it because it made me think. Here we are, we got this coming through. It was four of them, and even in life, this man kept them there. And if you can imagine that being young, young woman having to deal with all these men coming in and doing this, wishing they just could die, and then you
Yeah.
do die, and then you're still stuck in there in the afterlife.
Hmm.
And so we go there, and I said we got all this coming through. Of course, we had to shut down after a while, and then we left. I mean, after everything was done and said and done, we left. And to me, it's kind of like they're still there. They're still trapped there, and this other spirit won't let them leave, won't release them. He had them in life, now he has them in death. And I just couldn't see myself like on the TV shows, like when you see taps um, at the end when they're riding in the truck in the vehicle, at the end of the
Mm.
show, and they'll say, "Okay, we did a good job. Did this? Okay." They bump fists onto the next one. I just can't get past this next one. This one, I don't know. It stayed with me, and it's affected me in a way where I want to go back, and I just haven't figured out how to do that yet because it's
Mhm.
really kind of hard to get into that place to get it set up. But I just looked at myself as if I call myself a paranormal investigator, I mean this is what we do. Then I can't just kind of just leave it at that. Now I feel like I have unfinished business.
Mm.
We went there. Yes, it was cool and everything. We got all this evidence. A lot of people got a lot of good evidence, and they did have one. That, there's a picture where the spirit, where you can see there's a woman that's naked, standing on the bed. So I believe that there's two spirits on the bed because I've seen it, and it's just very hard because for me, just thinking about these girls going through there, and especially because I have a daughter, and you think about it to what they went through.
Yeah, that's definitely very ups.
You
It
know,
seems like a really harsh thing to deal
right?
with, really.
And they went through this in life, and then and now they're still stuck there after death. So we just can't move. I don't know. I just feel this one got to me really good because I feel like you just can't. I can't just fist bump and go on to the next one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I haven't
Mhm.
moved on from it. Like it touched me so deep that I haven't moved on from it, and I
Mm.
feel like we need to go back. And the way we did it, like I said, the way we channeled it was through the Ouija board.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
So that's the last one that we just did.
So let me ask you this: when you go into an investigation, and actually, let's normally ask this question, but I'm going to ask this question today. With all the equipment that's out there today, is there a piece of equipment that you see all the time in video where you're going, it's fake, it's ridiculous, stop using it?
Um, I was actually watching a video last night that a friend of mine sent me. He goes, "Man, you need to watch this." And they're talking about all the equipment, the EVP, the little meter with the little button you push on, the REM pod. How these are scientifically, they're really not what they are to supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it made me think about it. It's like because I have equipment, but I myself don't use it. I have equipment for other people to use because for
Okay.
me, it's like I can never get it to work anyways.
Okay.
I'm more myself. I'm my own equipment. The only
Yeah.
thing that's bad about that is just, of course, if I tell you, okay, well, there's something there, I feel this here, then we're getting into that. I can't prove it because you just got to take my word. But if you have something that's going to go off after I say it, then I guess that validates it. So that's the only reason why I think I have them. I have them around.
Mm.
The one that I haven't seen it a lot, and a lot of people don't use it, but the one that I see is the Tesla coil. I don't know if you've seen that one where they got the two
No.
rods. It's got two rods going up, and it's got the electricity going through it, like Frankenstein.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So they put it in a room and they charge the atmosphere to give the spirits power to come through. That's the one right there. I want to get one though, just to have it and see if I can shock the cats with it. But but I don't know. I don't know about that one because the other ones are all basically the same. It's just the REM pod and the MF meter. That's one. And like I said, you see, I have them and I don't even know what they're called because I really don't. I don't use them myself.
Yeah, it doesn't. I think I don't want to mention the company's name, but there is one that I saw, and it's like these two little, like they're two tiny little wires, and supposed to give off some kind of energy or
it's a little
electrodes
box.
in the air. Like,
Yeah,
I'm taking a look at this little box. It's about this big.
Yeah,
it's got two little wires sticking.
I'm fixing to order that. I just want it just for kicks in my room. Yeah, it's called the what's it?
It's like
Tesla box.
Seriously, come on. Like if you're in like a massive home, and you're telling me that's going to go throughout the whole home and set it off and get all the spirits talking to you. I believe what Trish says is right. You know, all of them. You only need your intuition. I believe that's true, but you know what? Nothing wrong with having a good voice recorder.
No, nothing wrong at all.
A good voice recorder is good to have. So.
What I use the most is like the recorder and the camera. That's it.
Yeah.
And one of the cameras that I use is this one right here.
Yeah, which phone is that?
This is the Pixel 4.
Okay.
It's not the SR22.
Yeah, so I'm also a big fan of, and most people know this. I'm a big fan of the SB7. Not an SB11 guy. I'm an SB7 guy.
I have that too, but I just cannot get it to work for me.
Why?
And I have the what do they call it? The Zach Bagans detuned SB7.
Yeah. See, you're one of those guys that likes to order those toys just to make fun of them, right?
Yeah. Actually, it's just the antenna. You just take the antenna off. You know.
Well, you can do that with the SB7 as well. They suggest you taking off the antenna on the SB7. I just choose not to. And to be honest, I used to stick up the antenna. I don't really stick up the antenna anymore. I keep it down now. And I got some pretty good responses in the UK. I've gotten some incredible responses out here in multiple different locations that I've been to. I've gotten some incredible, and the documentary that's coming out, hopefully within the next month or so. I was upstairs in one of the motel suites, and I wouldn't call it a suite; it's more like a room. So, and it said my name, like it actually said Brian. It actually said my full name. It said Brian Laverty, and then it said Brian again. So, like I always say, people say, well, that's probably because it was said on the radio. Well, I don't know if Brian Laverty was said on the radio. I doubt it. But we've had a guy on the show here. He's a skeptic, and he just believes it's something that you wanted to hear wasn't actually said. No, because I've actually let other people hear it, and they've heard the same thing without me saying something to them. So, no, I don't think so. But yeah, no, it's good though. It's an interesting question because I've watched a lot of videos in the past, and me and Lex are on the same page with the SLS. We're not big fans of the SLS, and I'm definitely not a fan of Ghost Tube that has the SLS on there, which is absolutely ridiculous.
The apps,
I don't put it up your poster. Oh, there's a stick figure. There you go.
I don't use the apps.
Yeah, well, you know what? When I first started, the only app I really used, well, I used two. I used the voice recorder app, and then I use the Necrophonic, and the Necrophonic, a lot of people use it, and a lot of times I was using it just to stir them up, not necessarily getting anything from it, just helping to maybe stir it up. What is that?
There it is.
Is that Ghost Tube?
Yeah.
Why do you even have it on your phone?
To make fun of it. See, there I am. Look, there's a ghost on me. He's dancing around. See it?
Yeah. And you know what? Raymond is right. Raymond is right. Connects are meant to be stationary. That's true. Here's Humberto
That's
Tamas.
Bert.
Is that how you say your last name or your first name?
That's Bert.
He's the same thing.
RGB Paranormal.
Yeah.
He's a Texan.
Okay.
South Texan.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, he's good. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
He's a friend.
Well, it's just because the way you say it didn't sound kind of negative.
What? I'm not negative.
It's just good. No, the necrophonic for me was interesting because you would ask a question and then it was a weird question. Like I would ask a question, what am I wearing? And if it said black, because normally I wear black or white, and it said black, it's just okay, interesting. So it's stuff like that.
On that note right there, the ghost tube, we're talking about that one, right? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghost tube?
I did have one on my phone. The one, like that one where it gives you the words.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was playing around with it one time. I was in New Mexico, and because I delivered to locations out in the desert, and this thing here is I don't know about it because it made me think because I'm driving.
Shit.
Huh?
Ghost tube is shit. The Ovulus on the app is crap. They're all crap.
Well, explain this. It showed that it has 350 words in it, right? Because I didn't buy it, so it had the free version of it. It was 350 words. Okay, I'm driving. I go into a location. It goes into the desert, and I drive maybe like 5-10 minutes in there, maybe half a mile, and I start asking. I'm just playing around, and so I said, okay, well, let me see. Is anyone here? It's just trying to communicate. And it starts popping out words. And it popped out, I think the first one was like knife, rope. And then so I said, okay, so if you're real, then if you can see me, what color shirt am I wearing? Just like you did. And my shirt was blue. Okay. Well, as soon as I asked it, it popped out blue.
Yeah.
I said, okay. I said, well, I look at it as well. It's programmable. Maybe it's got keywords by listening to my words, and it puts it. But then the next question I asked, "What's my name?" And as soon as I said my name, it said Anthony.
Here's the question for you though: have you put your first name in your phone account?
In my phone account?
Because GhostTube, I went through it and tested it.
Yeah, that they get the.
It regurgitates words. Not at random, they're on a cycle. I left mine on for 24 hours and got the same words through and through. If your account name, now my account name on my phone is an old nickname, so it's Fizzy. And when I asked it to say my name, it came out with that word. And they even spelt it the way it's spelt on my phone, which was Fizzai. So I think it pulls it from your phone record.
Right.
Well, you got to ask yourself this, and Trish's I put up what Trish said is true. Like if a spirit can drain your battery from your camera or your phone or anything like that, why is it not possible they cannot manipulate something and make something work in their favor?
Oh, they could 100%. There's probably stuff you get. That's the reason why I don't discredit Necrophonica a lot of the time. Because chances are you are probably getting something real in the mess of all the preloaded noise. Same with GhostTube. You'll probably get something in there. I don't know if it's true that it can pull your thing from your phone. That's why I'm asking if it did it to me. But there is a chance it could work. It's the same with, what's the other app I've seen? Spirit Talker, I think it's called.
Yeah, the one that Drew said, I think.
Is it?
She said one, Spirit Talker is good too.
If that's the one that has, I think that's the one that I blasted on here before because it has the EMF reader on the app that doesn't work. So
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
If it's the one with I think it's when the home screen, I think it's like a coffin shape and it has the EMF dial on the screen and it doesn't work like at all. So it's a bit of a, for me, I turned the app off after that, but there is no.
Can you get Spirit Talker through Google Play Store?
Yeah, it's on everything. It's
Is it? I just
created
wanted.
by
I've never looked it up, so I don't know.
yeah, it's created by a paranormal group.
Who?
I can't remember the name. It's like the initials are SS. But I
Spirit
can't. I
Talker.
think,
Here it is.
yeah.
It Haunted Finders.
Oh, Haunted Finders. That's the one. Yeah.
It's
So,
$5.49.
yeah. Well, they're going to charge you for it, aren't they? They're not going to give you tools for free.
What the hell?
Yeah, well, like I said, it made me think. I mean, it was like Lex is saying, you know, I'm on the like this. I still don't use it, but it did kind of like, well, I don't know now because this thing popped up my shirt and it popped up my name, and out of 350 words, how many of those words are names? And then for it to nail it right on there. Now it could have tapped into my, like Lex is saying, to my phone, or it could have been actually a spirit using it. I don't know.
I think that this is the issue. I think with apps is that you can't regurgitate what is going to be a valid find and what's going to be a preloaded thing. Because again, the Haunted Finders could sit there and say, we wanted to help the community, so we built a device that actually works. And then I'm like, well, why didn't you give it out for free then?
Right. Now it was wrong one time because I did use it at another location, and it spit out all this stuff. We wrote it down, and then we find the truth of what happened in that place, and it was just totally off.
Yeah, so there can be hit or miss. So I find it like as much as I like the intent of paranormal investigators making equipment and apps and stuff, I just don't. It doesn't add any credibility for me, just because a paranormal investigator has said it. Because at one point they could just be like, "Well, we know we have enough of a following that people believe everything we do. Right. Let's just tell them this app works, and we'll put money on it, and they'll buy it."
Right. That's why I like the one. There's no batteries required, and everybody's scared of it. So
I did. So I guess there's a second app out there because I know the Necrophonic app doesn't ask for permissions for mic and media and stuff like that. This app, same thing. Doesn't ask for permissions, but I was reading some of the reviews here, and one review was saying it spits out words every 30 seconds on cue.
Yeah.
So
it's just a thing that this is what I mean. So like you might get an anomaly in there because we all know spirits can manipulate energy and devices and stuff like that. So this is what I think about like the fake ghost shows and the fake YouTubers. The amount of stuff they catch that's real that they don't notice because they're too busy faking stuff. But there's real stuff in there's stuff I found in Omar's videos, which he's never ever mentioned, and I'm like, he just doesn't know it's in there.
I didn't like that guy. I saw his stuff maybe twice on YouTube. It was pretty cool at first, and then after that, I just didn't like him.
Did you ever see the one where he had that can thrown at him, and then if you actually watch the video properly, you can see that he threw the can and he's just playing the video in reverse?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't get past that far. He just got on my nerves. He got on my nerves with the way he acts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like he's trying to be everybody's friend on there, and I know you can't like everybody that much. So
no, you can't. I don't like everybody that much.
That's what I'm saying. Because we're both negative.
I'm a nice dude, but I call people out every week.
Because we're both negative.
And for everybody in the room right now, at the end of the show, we do have a segment called Fakers that Lex enjoys. So please stick around and watch that. And also, if you could, go down below. And Anthony's links are down below. So if you want to go over and follow him, that would be great. I believe your YouTube is, I believe I put your YouTube channel up there.
Yeah, the YouTube is just Texas Wraith Hunters. And they both come out on there. Texas Wraith Hunters and Wraith Roll podcast.
So if you could go down below and follow this guy. So,
which those videos are boring. They really are.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people say that. Maybe somebody won't find it boring. Maybe somebody will like them.
I say they're boring because they're real.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
So it's true. I have a video on my channel that Brian really likes. I did a 3-part investigation thing. I did one of those 3 a.m. game challenges that people were ranting and raving about.
There you go.
And I was like, well, I'm going to go and do one and see how real this thing is. And in the first part, we got some really good, like, because we played the red book game, and with the book, we were getting like good answers. And I was like, okay, this is a bit weird. But then I put a K2 meter out for part 2 on top of the book while I was still playing. I was just recording it all the way through. And we just started asking general questions without playing the game. And every time we had an answer, the lights were correlating. So I was like, are you a child? It went straight to red for yes. And when we asked, oh, but are you an adult? It wouldn't move at all. And then I'd re-ask the question, are you a child? Straight to red. And then we had some weird stuff happening in my house. Like I had a mirror turn by itself to look directly at me while I was getting changed. That's the weirdest thing that's happened in my house. And I was like, well, we need to do a part 3. Let's investigate the house just in case whatever we bought in is still in here. And we got nothing. The video is 37 minutes on YouTube, and there's nothing in it whatsoever on that.
And Brian loved it.
And Brian loves it. And I was like, and I get asked, why did you do that? Why did you still put the video up? Why didn't you just put a tweet out saying nothing happened? I was like, because this is investigating. I'm showing you that there are a lot of times where nothing fucking happens.
But let me ask you this. Because you can clearly see in your video it's got some mind seed influence to it. It does.
In my one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you knew then what you know about mind seed, would you have done it that way?
Yes, because I think it's the reason being because I don't act like them. I just I do the same thing where I film part of the investigation and then I do like a me talking to the camera a bit about what's just been going on to fill in what people aren't seeing. Or when I said, like, when I did it in that video, because nothing was happening, I was like, I want to make the video still entertaining for the viewer. Well, I was like, let's just insert cuts of me talking to the camera and saying, like, well, we tried this and this hasn't worked. I don't think anything's really going on here anymore. And I thought it just made the video look better when you watch it. So even though there's nothing happening, people are still going to sit there and listen to me. Because again, it's disheartening for me to put out a video with nothing in it because I haven't proved anything. But for me, just to make the video watchable, so you're not just staring at my house and nothing happening the whole time, it was just a better way of editing. That's why I did it.
I like Mindseed's TV, the way they set their stuff up. I mean, the look that they have.
Yeah, I like Mindseed too. I haven't watched a video in a long time, but I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I really started questioning Mindseed when they put out that video when he was at home and the worms were all over the place. I really started questioning it then, and then obviously Lex told me that they fake videos. It was really quite disappointing.
I don't know if have you seen our faker segment, Anthony?
I seen at the end. Yeah.
Did you see the one where I did it on Mindseed?
No, I missed that one.
I'll tell you how I know they fake their videos. It's one thing they did wrong, and this is how I found out. I was watching one of their videos once. They're doing a prison, and obviously there's 3 guys. So there's Coulson, Tanner, and I can't remember what the third guy's called, but there's 3 of them. Anyway, I think it's the third guy whose name I can't remember is doing this bit where he's walking through the cells, and everything starts rattling, and he hears things running at him. And he runs around the corner and he yells out, Tanner. Right? And then they play the replay and the whole thing plays out the same. But at the end, when he turns to a corner and runs away, he yells out Coulson. So it was filmed twice. And I was like, well, that proves everything you've ever done is now fake. Right. Because you've done it twice. So after I watched that one, I stopped watching them. And it's a shame because I was heavily influenced. You can tell by if you ever watch my videos. I was very heavily, the way I edit is influenced by watching them a lot.
Right.
And that's how I learned how to make my videos watchable. And now it's differently now. But that's how I found out they fake it. Yeah.
Your buddy here, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, actually.
Yeah, go back to last week I spoke about Mindseed?
I think it was last week or the week before. I can't recall.
If you can, go onto our YouTube channel after this show. Go to either the last one or the one before and just skip to the end if you don't want to watch the whole show. And I talk about everything to do with Mindseed and how they fake all their videos.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. What do you think of Destination Feared? I have an interesting story about Destination Feared.
I have never watched it.
Do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear my interesting story? So if you watch Destination Fear, watch their show. They over embellish too. But here's something interesting, Joanne, that I recently found out about Destination Fear. You know, when you're watching the show and you see the bus that they supposedly drive in,
Yeah.
and they're talking about what they're doing next. They've never actually been in that bus. They're not allowed to be. So what you're seeing is them in another one, and it's pretending that they're in this big one. Right. Now, here's another interesting thing I found out about Destination Fear and most people on Discovery Plus. They don't pay you. They don't pay Destination Fear. Destination Fear gets their money from sponsors. So the guys that are working together are actually living together because they can't afford the rent.
Well, with Dakota is Zach Bagan's one of his camera guys at one time.
Yeah.
And then the girl's his sister.
Yeah, but
wonder where he learned this from.
In actual fact, they've never actually been on that bus.
Yeah, that big black one. I think that's Zach's old bus.
So I think I think I heard something about that too. But I was told that by somebody that is very close with Discovery Plus. Yeah, and it's all fake.
Drew, if you want to know the answer to that question, are any of them real? If they're on TV, no.
Well, there you go. There you go. Zach Baggins is the producer for the show. So
I didn't even know that.
That's what to get into. But see, what gets me is they run around with cameras like this, you know.
Yeah.
These ones that are you can tie in all that stuff to, right?
Yeah.
But you never see any footage from the camera. The finished product of it, it's always the real camera guy with the big camera.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes they show it like it's almost like live kind of type of thing. But no, I was disappointed when I found that out about Destination Fear.
I was going to say
they've never actually been on that bus before. They're not allowed on that bus supposedly.
But obviously, we know me and Brian know a person called Madison, and she's obsessed with that show. So all she posts on Twitter is about that show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I didn't know. I wonder if she knows it's not real because I know Brandon and I likes it as well. So I wonder if they will know.
Yeah, and that's true. What your buddy's saying, they run away from everything. They do. So but that's what makes that's what makes the show. And again, it's disappointing when you're, because I didn't know much about Destination Fear. I've never really watched any of their stuff. I've seen a few shows here and there, and I have Discovery Plus, so I've watched a few, but that's about it. But I was disappointed when I found out all that stuff. I was surprised to find out that Discovery Plus doesn't pay them. That surprised me.
Well, what would they pay them for?
For their shows?
But what are they doing? They're not really doing anything.
Yeah. Sorry, my little shadow back here is causing some issues. You can see the blinds going back and forth over here. So I was disappointed with that. Don't even get me started with the Holzer files. Especially with that. There was one episode where I think she's a fake medium, but anyways, we won't get into that because that's going to get somewhere where I don't really want it to go. So
I'll make you a bold statement. I'll make it for you, Brian. About 97% of people who claim they're mediums are faking it.
Yeah,
because they get this.
Yes, we've had a couple on Parapost Network Central.
There's a million of them on TikTok.
We've had a couple. I won't say any names, but we've had a couple.
But I'm gonna bring us back into the questions here, Anthony. Out of all how long? Just a quick one before I answer the main one. How long have you been doing this for?
For me, it's been 40 years plus.
Beautiful.
As far as the team, I decided to do the team. Maybe like almost 3 years ago. No, maybe 2.5 years ago. And that was something that I really didn't want to do. I mean, I really didn't want to. I have experienced so many things and seen so many things in other being around the occult. I mean, which the occult is a big word that people just don't know what it means. But
Yeah,
people
Ken
doing
Allen said the same thing to me.
right, occult just means hidden knowledge. So if
Mm.
you read the Bible, hey, this full of riddles and hidden knowledge. So are you an occultist also? I mean, of course, a Christian wouldn't agree with me on that, but you know, but
Definitely not Christian. Let's say I'm in between studies, so I've currently just read for the first time Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible for the
right.
first time, and I've taken up a bit of an interest in that side of the worldview. So let's say I don't have anything to stick with yet, but I'm on the fence, and I'm working my way to find something, I guess.
Right. Well, like I said, when I turned in my 20s, 22, 23, I got into the darker arts of that side. And I was around a lot of people. Of course, back then, like I said, we didn't have social media or anything. So those were more underground people they weren't out there just talking about everything, This was kind of like the Ken Allen thing, and it's the kind of the real stuff. And so yeah, I got into that, and then, but like I said, it's just that when Paranormal State and Taps and all them came out, the very first shows, I actually got to see where, well, there's people that really do this. I mean, they're doing this. They're not even the real, because I didn't know anything about no paranormal, the terms, and I just looked at some things like, man, how do you find that? Because you can't find that. You have to know somebody, and even then, for it to be revealed to you, you have to go through a lot and study a lot to get some of this knowledge. It's not just going to be coming to you,
Yeah.
and it takes years to get it, to acquire that type of magic. If some people know what even magic means, because we're getting into a whole nother deal now. And so, but yeah, when I started to see that, and then I guess for me it was more to try to prove also that there is other realms and other dimensions out there. There's another side to this, where people shouldn't be afraid of death, because it's just a part of life. And there is another side to it. So how do I do this? Because I've tried many things in my life, and I got to do a lot of things in my life, but I was always burdened by these abilities. They always were calling me to someone or something, and just didn't know what, because you just can't go to school for this. Hey, I want to learn this, so I go to school and I learn it. Get a degree or something, but you can't find this. You can't find people either. But now you can, like you were saying, there's mediums everywhere now. I remember when it was 1-800.
Well, no, let's clarify. There are people everywhere.
Right, there's people
Whether
everywhere.
they're mediums or not, that's another thing.
Well, you can get a hold of one pretty easy. I remember when it was 1-800 medium, when it used to come on at night on the telemarketing thing.
I thought that was a sex number. I was talking to a medium.
Well, it was
What
at
the hell?
first, and then it changed into mediums. They caught on. So you had a sex worker that became a medium. Now she got a new gig. So, get both best of both worlds, I guess. But yeah, but I started to do that, and then like I said, I just decided to start a group. And then one of my co-founders, my son, which he has his giftings. Well, actually, all my kids do. Actually, all of us do in our family. And so he's been the one that me and him started going out. And then I told him, well, hey, man, why don't we start? Because we did start running into a lot of things, but we had nothing to prove or nothing to show. And so I go, well, I guess we're going to have to start investing in getting some cameras or getting something that we can prove this. And of course, at the time, I still didn't know that. I got that from watching the shows. I mean, where, hey, well, they're using recorders, they're using these cameras, and they're getting this type of footage or getting these recordings. So I guess this is the way we got to go, which in a way you do. I mean, so there is some good out of these TV shows, because you get to see what being used out there. Now, whether you use it right or wrong, or for the right, like I say, you can go out there and watch these shows and get kind of an idea, and if it's something that worked for you or something, but if you stay honest to it and not start getting caught up in all the hype, so that's how that came about. That's how I just started. And then my other two members they're all family members, so It's just 4 of us. I don't need any more. I don't want any of the big groups or anything like that.
Yeah. So why don't we go on to your podcast? Why don't you let people, because I think I said this when you were up or before I brought you up, that we always used to see you in the room as a viewer watching all these podcasts, and you were touring around like Raymond tours around. And so was it something that you always wanted to do? Like you wanted to do a podcast, something that you thought about for a while? And why don't you tell people a little bit about your podcast and what your plans are for the future for your podcast?
Well, the
or
vodcast, that came about. I never even thought about doing this one. This one came out of Texas Wraith Hunters, which is just an extension of the group.
Yeah.
And I just started looking up because I didn't even have Facebook before. I couldn't stand social media, but I know that in the time that we live in, these are the avenues to get out and see what's
Unfortunately.
going on. I mean, you see, just put in paranormal, or put in, my other Facebook that I had was all drag racing, and all I had was nothing but.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's nothing but racer friends, and I kept it race. You know what I mean? So just I said, well, if I have, I get to meet other people, whatever. Not a podcast, just on Facebook. And then so I said, well, now that I'm gonna start doing this, well, I need to find out what other people are doing. I mean, who's doing this? So of course you put paranormal, and you're gonna get 100,000 things right there within a second. And just started surfing the Facebook, and
it was through the lens that you came upon and went,
it was
wow,
through the lens
I want to be like these guys.
Yeah, it was Bryan and Lex,
wouldn't?
and I saw them. I was like, man, that's it. Right
I
there.
was expecting less to say.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, I did. I mean, it was you and Matt Barron.
Yeah.
It was the P3, and I don't even know how y'all popped up. I don't even remember how. It was one show that came on, and then that connected me to the other show.
Yeah.
And then so I just started watching it, and then as more podcasts were, you start to get the hang of it, and you start tapping into all these other paranormal podcasts, and but Parapost, yourself and Matt are the ones that stood out to me the most.
Yeah, and I remember because I think you mentioned wanting to do your own show. I think it was either on Matt's show or our show, and I reached out to you and I said, if you were interested in starting your own podcast, I'd love to bring you on Parapost. And I think that's where it started.
It
really,
was actually,
isn't it?
actually when I decided to go ahead and do it. But I decided to do a podcast. Well, I don't know. For me, it's a podcast. And I understand the difference where it never came from, but it's just something that just stuck, I guess.
Yeah.
When I decided to do the podcast, I did it on the intentions that because I got out there so quick, and I started investigating investigators. I guess you can say, and seeing their shows, seeing what they're putting out there. I wanted to get an idea, and then I started to see and smell all the BS really quick. And of course, I started hearing, reaching out to other people that I already knew.
See, that's when you get in trouble. When you start reaching out to other people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's when it actually turned. That's when I started to find out. It's like, oh, this is kind of like, man, this isn't really what I was just talking about the other night. It's like, I really didn't think the podcast thing was going to be like this. I didn't think the paranormal deal was going to be like this. And because I've already run into so many people that are not very good, not very nice people, put it this way. Yeah. And it's just ugly.
It's and I'm glad you said that because it is disappointing. So what would be your advice for people that are like yourself that are just getting into this and you obviously encountered what you encountered. So if you can give somebody some kind of advice on maybe how to stay away from that, or what would be your suggestion when it comes to something like that?
and as far as a group goes, I mean, we start off with that one. I mean, um, for me, it's more. I would like I've told some people already. It says, man, if you decide to do this, uh, don't follow anybody. Don't follow. Don't try to make yourself like anybody else. I'm sure you can look at the shows, or you can. But like I said, not even the shows, because you can get on now on Facebook and you can see so much stuff
Mm,
away from the show, away from the lights and the camera, that side of the camera. So you don't get caught up in all that because it's nothing like that. And I said, but realize too, man, just like anything else, whether you go to church, you're gonna find that bad side of the church, and there's always gonna be the bad side of it. The people that are just out to be your friends, you think they're your friends, and you end up getting stabbed in the back, you're gonna get hurt, really quick. Especially like I think on this side of it too.
yeah.
So don't try to mimic anybody. Just do what you're led to do, and if it's something like, don't try to make yourself something that you're not. If not, like I said earlier, not everybody can drive a race car. Just because you have a fast car, don't make you a race car driver. You know,
Yeah.
it takes years to do that.
Well, we know I'm not going to be a race car driver immediately. That's
So, so, so that's what I'm saying is, so don't try to make something because it looks cool, or whatever. If it's not for you, it's not for you. And then if you do
yeah.
decide to do it, and you do, I mean, there's something there, then of course, get around some people, which is going to be hard, and you're going to get your heart broken, and you're going to get cut, because it's going to happen. You're going to meet somebody, and they're going to come off real good, and they're going to hype you up and everything, and you're going to find out later on. I mean, it's just part of life. It's like
Yeah.
anything else. So, I mean, it's just very difficult, really. It is. You're going to try to stay to yourself a lot. I mean,
Mm,
you're
mm.
going to just be real careful on who you choose to associate yourself. And you brought that up earlier, and because I was told the same thing, is guilty by association.
Yeah.
You got to be careful of
Unfortunately,
who you
yeah.
associate yourself with, because if they are out there and you find out later on that they got this big old scandal behind them, you're going to get caught up in it too. Your name's going to get dragged through it because you're with them. Just like you said earlier about the one guy and the other guy, and there you go.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing. I would say in the last year and a half, for myself personally, I've met some people that I thought were friends, and at the end of the day, they weren't. They were in it for one thing and one thing only. But I guess the real disappointing thing about that is that you put so much into that, right? Like, if like there was one person that I had on this show multiple times, and me and Lex had him on this show, and I even had him on Parapost Live as well. And I thought he was going to be. I thought he was turning into a very good friend, and to find out later on down the road, he wasn't. He was just looking to grow his channel, and knowing that I had quite a few followers on different platforms, and he did, because he went up from like somewhere like around 400 to, like, in the first couple of weeks of me helping him, he had almost 1,200 followers.
Yeah. Well, I haven't
And
gotten that, and I've been on there twice
it's
already.
it's well,
No, I'm joking.
the problem is now, like, it's been like, maybe a couple of years ago, it wasn't that big. Like, even a couple of years ago, it wasn't that big. Like the paranormal stuff on Facebook, like a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. Now it's just like oversaturated with everything. This, like YouTube, like 3 or 4 years ago, didn't have a lot of paranormal on YouTube. Maybe 5 years ago. And now it's just oversaturated with paranormal stuff. Look how long it took to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Look, took almost 2.5 years. Of course, I got to 1,000 subscribers, but I was putting out a lot of short videos, and supposedly that hurts your algorithm and stuff like that. And there were times where I wasn't putting out anything for like a couple of months, and that's why it took a little bit longer. But yeah, it's really been disappointing over the last year and a half. Even with Parapost Network, when I originally brought out Parapost Network, I had a partner. and he turned out to be not so nice either, and which is unfortunate. But this is how we deal with it, right? And I think I'm hoping that it's in every industry like this. But to be perfectly honest, this industry is really, really, really super bad when it comes to backstabbing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of it in this industry, a lot of it. And I don't know how many accountants out there backstab each other, but, or people in banks and, whatever. But this industry is really, really bad for it. And before I say this, I don't want anybody to get upset with me, but it's a joke. But there's a lot of Karens in this industry. to be honest, and they get hurt over the slightest thing, and but unfortunately it's the way it is. And until we straighten that out, until we straighten out all these problems, we're not going to be able to straighten out the other stuff, and that's the fakers. So or the people that are faking videos. Until we straighten out the drama part, we're not going to get rid of the other part.
Yeah, it's just going to come along with it. It's like I said, like everything in life, we want world peace. Okay, you can hold your breath, but I'm not going to hold.
Just to answer your buddies here, Lex has a channel called Lex Paranormal, and you can find it on YouTube. And my channel is Huntophobia Canada. Just to answer your question,
and this
Huntophobia Canada.
And this show's channel is Through the Lens with Bryan and Lex.
Yes, and I was just about to say that.
No, you weren't.
I was actually going to say that. So I'm bad. I know I'm bad for that, but I've gotten better.
But that's how that's how the what's the advice I would give? I mean, it's kind of I mean, it's really rough on there. The podcast came out of course, called Wraith World. It's out of Texas Wraith Hunters. Yeah, and the reason why I started that one is because I didn't even see this one coming. I just started when I started watching the podcast. I really did it, and then you came on when I did the introduction because I said, you know what, I'm not going to do a post. I'm going to do a live, and I'm going to introduce it myself. I'm the founder. I'm going to introduce it myself, and I'm going to let the people know what my intentions are with this. Because I know I'm just another. I was thinking, here's another podcast coming on top of what 10 million podcasts already.
Yeah, but you know what? I think there are a lot of podcasts out there, but you know what? I think each one brings something a little bit different, which makes it unique.
Right.
Like me and Lexus, for example, when we first started it, we had an intention on what we wanted to do with this show. And that was to help up and coming paranormal investigators. Now, obviously, some weeks we haven't had that, but overall, our show's really about helping up and coming paranormal investigators, people that we think or believe that should be, having the 10,000 subscribers, not the ones that are faking the videos. Like, for example, yourself or anybody else we've had on the show. They're the ones that should have 60, 80, 90, 100,000 followers, not these other ones. And so that's what we wanted to do with our show. Your show, you're going to find it. You're going to find that niche. You're going to find what works for you. And so far it's good. But anyway, sorry for interrupting there.
No. So. Yeah. So that one, like I said, the podcast is something that I didn't think about or see anything moving forward with it. This one more came out as kind of it pissed me off what I was seeing, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna make my own podcast, and I'm gonna have the people. I just don't want anyone on there because I've had offers of many bigger people to come on, and I've turned down so many people. You won't even believe if I mention names. And for some reason, I've only had it for 2.5 months now.
Yeah,
and it's already going to hit almost 1,000 followers on it. Because when I came in like with 4,000 people on there already on my deal. But I'm not going to have anybody on here just because, like you're saying, I want the views. I get the views anyways. I don't even think about it. If it happens, it happens. But I get them anyways.
Hmm.
But for me, was the people that I was going to have on, because I know other podcasters, they get anybody on there. They reach out to 50 people from all over the United States. Don't even look at their background. Don't look at where they're coming from. If they've been into any other things, and like I said, here comes that guilty by association again. Some just don't care. They'll bring on anybody. And so for me, it was more, I'm very careful on who I bring on. And that's why I reach out now to my paranormal family, Parapost and P3, just got to say that. And because y'all been around the paranormal on this side of town a lot more than I have. So, and the same thing, y'all look out for me, I look out for y'all.
Yeah.
And because y'all don't know Texas like I know Texas.
Yeah, there you go.
See, so
I want to go to Texas. I want to go to Texas. I'm thinking I'm going to Kentucky again in April. I think going to meet up with Raymond again and Patty. I believe I'm hoping Patty's going to come. Patty's had a few medical issues concerning her back, so I don't know if she'll be able to get out there. But we're definitely going out to Kentucky again to meet up with Raymond and Adam and all those guys, and then hopefully, I'm looking at next September for England again. But this time, I'm hoping Lex will come to Ireland and Scotland with me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah.
So that's going to be a lot. That's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of people to meet up with this time, especially people in Ireland like Jenny Sullivan and obviously Chris. Or Chris is in Scotland, but both places we got a lot of people to meet up with. And this time we're going to meet up with Robin. This time, hopefully, we didn't get to meet up with them last time. But anyways, before we get to this last question, after this last question, we're going to go to our segment of fakers. So, are you going to want to stick around for that?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So
I took the day off.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad we were able to do this because we've been trying to do this for 3 weeks. I was actually going to bring you up last week after Bald and Bonkers, but I thought it would have been way, way too long. So, but anyways, Lex, you're up, buddy.
Okay. Right. So, if me and Brian had become...
I know where this is going.
If me and Brian had become an agency where you could get money from suing the dead, right?
Oh, wow.
And you came to our office with a claim that a spirit had shoved you down the steps, and you thought, I'm gonna be dead. And you brought that claim to us, and we paid you out with all the money in the world. But you had to spend that money on an investigation. Where would you go?
Oh yeah, but I actually already said it. My dream places of going would be down to Dallas, Texas. I'm joking.
Nice.
I'm not gonna stay in Texas, man.
Oh God! So apparently, Anthony has watched our show.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It would be across the pond.
Oh,
yeah, it'll be to Ireland, where you just mentioned out the UK, England, the castles over there. I mean, here we talk about stuff. Well, this house is 100 years old. It's 300 years old. Man, there's stuff over there thousands of years old, and a lot of the original beliefs are still active out there. I would say, the Celtics in England. That's where you're from, Lex, right?
England, yeah.
England, well, like Wales over there. So you know all this. That would be the one place right there, but I would have to stop by the catacombs in France because I've been wanting to go in that place there since I was a kid.
Sorry, what was that last one you cut out for
The
me?
catacombs in France.
Yeah. We've had that quite a bit recently.
Yeah.
France. Maybe we have to take a trip over there, Lex.
Oh, we need to find a decent guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can go in them, right?
Yeah, you get lost.
You can go in and do the tour version, or if you find the right people and you trust them, they can take you into a different entrance, which is not the tour side, where some YouTubers have gone, but the tour guides have left them in there.
Yeah, you won't find your way out.
No, yeah.
So do we have to do like a popcorn trail or something like that so we make sure we can?
No, we're just going to bring someone I'm going to find someone who's gone before and that we can trust, and maybe tie a piece of string outside. I don't know.
Well, if we're going to go out that way, I think the must place that we have to go to is Normandy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think Normandy would be a great place to go. I was going to go there last time when I was in England, but it ended up not working out. I was exhausted after the 14 days of 11 investigations. It was a lot. So, well, thank you for that. I'm glad it wasn't Dallas, Texas, because I would have said have a nice evening.
There's no way. I mean, we have stuff here, like I say, the United States. Yeah, we got from the East Coast and everything else that's happened here, but we can't beat out that side of the world.
There you go.
That's how you no way.
That's how you find yourself.
Yeah.
This is how you find yourself. There you go.
That will work.
just bring Jenny Dell straight in the moon. Yeah. Feels straight. That's true. So thank you very much. That was I like that one. That was good. And I think let's be honest. Most people think of Europe, England, when they think of investigations, because of all the castles and historical places compared to, like, let's say Canada and the States. You know what I mean? I find that States are a lot of them are asylums. Like you guys had all these asylums in the States. It's just crazy how many you have. I think we have a total of 4 here in Canada. And in the States, there's dozens and dozens.
Because we're all crazy over here in America.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say that. I was going to say that. I didn't say that. So that's great. So people, you know what it's time for, right? You know what it's time for. Let's get going. Let's do this. I love it. I love that video.
Well,
I love it. So simple, but so effective.
It is.
It is.
And today we've got another good one for you guys. Today we are going to Out Seas Crazy Crossroads, as recommended by Brian. If you haven't heard of him, you should have. He rolls in the same circle as the Florida Faker crew. I think he's done video. Has he done videos with Omar before, Brian?
I
know he's in Florida.
I'm not sure.
No, but
no, I don't think he has.
We're going to talk about him very quickly. I don't have a lot to say on him because it is very, very easy to work out how this guy fakes his videos. He's been outed before. People have been making debunking videos on him for at least 2 years now. Most notably, as I like this one because you guys mentioned it earlier, guilty by association. So let's see who he associates with. And the first one, straight off the bat, and this is a good one because they openly admitted to faking all their content last year. They were friends with UGUE, so Urban Ghosts, Urban Explorations. If you remember that debacle all over Twitter when they came out and admitted it. So he's friends with them. So we can already assume that he's faking videos, but we can go a step further with that one. He has a lot of videos where he says alone in the titles, right?
Yeah.
Alone. And that's quite good, except we can prove that he's not alone. Very simply, he has a nice little friend who's in a lot of his videos. And if you narrow his voice down on a computer, so you can just get the voice clip of his mate,
Okay.
and then watch any alone video where a male voice is picked up in the house that he's in, and you can match the audio file perfectly to the other voice because his friend is doing the voice. And at some point, he doesn't even go that far even to hide it. So they just sound the same. So that's number one. The other thing he does, which is quite good, and he's one of these lucky paranormal investigators where shit gets thrown at him
Yes.
in every investigation.
Yes.
But it doesn't get thrown at him because the stuff gets thrown is probably going to cause him some harm. So I don't see why a pissed off vengeful demon, as he calls them, would launch the bowling ball off the shelf at him to get him out of the house. Instead, it throws it across the room when he's not even in the room. And then he runs back in there and he's like, oh my God, it got thrown everywhere. Right?
Yeah. No.
So that's to say, it's quite fun that luckily nothing is ever thrown at him. So he's got good friends. They don't want to hurt him. But he tells the biggest one, and a lot of investigators do this, and this is why I like it when people set up cameras that fill a whole room while they're doing a walk around so they can show you the whole room. He does this thing, and he openly says it, I'm going to show you around this whole place. What I'll translate that for everyone. What he's really saying is he's going to show you about 40% of the building because he obviously needs to keep the hiding places for his friends out of camera shots. So just in case he gets the wrong camera angle and you might see something like one of his friend's hands, for example, he can play it off as if, well, you saw that area earlier and it wasn't there. So he does that. He doesn't show you every single part of the room. He shows you just one angle. He'll walk into a room like this, and as he turns this way, his friend is just going to mosey across the wall behind him, and he'll never turn the camera back around to show you the room. So you know that he's hiding people. And these are just the tricks he does. You can discount almost every EVP he's caught because they're all just the same friend of his. And even better one, there's one you can find where you can tell the audio has been laid into the video via editing software. And I don't know if you guys know this, but with editing software, some of it is watermarked, like sounds. And if you don't purchase it, or you're just not very good at cutting that bit off the end of the audio clip, sometimes you get the sound in there. Maybe it sounds a bit mechanical at the end, just so you can tell it's a false clip. So there's just many of the things that C's Crazy Crossroads has done. So
I saw one. I've seen a few of his videos. There was one that I watched, and then about a month later, it was on a debunking channel. And he was in a school. I think it was a school or an old office. I can't recall. And something was thrown at him. And I go, okay, well, that's crap. And but I found it funny because a month later I saw it was on a debunking channel. And I think it was on the, what's his name? Angry Cajun. Yeah, I think it was on his channel. He actually pointed out the fishing wire.
He's very big on fishing wire.
Yeah, at one point in the video, or one point when just before that happened, you could actually see a glare for where this thing was being thrown or moved. And you could actually see the glare of the fishing wire that he was using, which I thought was interesting. As soon as I saw it, I said, okay, that's crap. And but obviously I didn't look further into it, right? I thought it was funny that I saw a month later on Angry Cajun, and he hates all of them.
Yeah,
by the way,
he goes after everyone.
Yeah, and he doesn't like Omar whatsoever.
No,
but at all. So
if what we've just told you there doesn't convince you that he's fake,
okay,
I implore you to go watch his video. Just one. Don't give him loads of views. Just go and watch one. Maybe watch it via a debunking channel debunking his video, so you don't give the guy a view. But his acting is absolutely dog shit. I mean, oh my god. I mean, but at least when like ghost TV shows over embellish and they fake their reaction, they do it in a believable manner to a certain degree. Not this guy. The overreaction
Yeah, he jumps
is
a lot.
insane.
He jumps a lot, but I will give him this. When he sweats, it looks real. When he's sweating, that's when you see he's starting to fake shit.
Well, that's
he's starting to over embellish.
Yeah. He probably is sweating because he's like, he's stressing out that people like Lex Paranormal, The Shape, Angry Cajun are gonna just dismember the video because we will. Yeah. It's our job.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's just one of those ones. And
good.
Again, I don't know what it is about Florida, guys, but they breed fake paranormal investigators like there's no tomorrow.
Okay, before we go any further, and before we get Anthony's opinion about this, what castle are you talking about? Are you talking about Dunduran? I'm just curious.
Myself?
Let me know. No, I was just asking Joanne if she's talking about Dunduran Castle. I believe it's called Dunduran. Anyway, so what are your thoughts, Anthony? And not just on this, but the whole faking thing. What's your opinion?
Well, yeah, I mean it makes the whole paranormal field look stupid. It makes us all look like that. You know, I don't really watch any of those segments anymore. I mean, I just didn't want to, because when you watch something, it'll get in your head, and then you tend to, not that I want to fake anything, but I just don't want to follow any patterns anybody's doing like that. I mean, yeah, I don't agree with it. I think I just said that to some. Oh yeah, I was talking to my friend last night. Goes, yeah, he sent me some stuff last night, and I said I don't understand why do people go through all the trouble of faking things, because it seems like it's a lot harder. Like Lex was saying, I know what he's talking about editing. You really got to get that right in there to squeeze it, to cut it out perfectly. You know what I mean? When you're gonna splice 2 segments together. Mm-hmm. And why would you want to go through all this trouble to do this? And if you don't do it right, you're going to get caught. And then you're pretty much done. I mean, no one's going to believe anything you say. And I mean, you're going to come out with Lex and get blasted.
Yeah. It's just my favorite thing is the audacity that when they get called out by these, some of these debunking channels aren't small channels. World of Grey is a big channel. Angry Cajun's got a massive following. So there's a lot of people that know it's fake because of these channels. The audacity to keep denying it is what blows my mind. Because if they did what UGUE did, and they didn't do it straight away, but eventually they came out and were like, yeah, we faked it. Like, oh, we're sorry. We wanted it to be more entertaining, so we started manipulating it. And then they went back to making paranormal content. At least everyone went in there knowing, like, we can just take this with a grain of salt. But the audacity to say, no, I haven't faked a single thing, when we've got the clip with the fishing wire in the video, it blows my mind.
Yeah. And what kills me about that is people are so, like, with a lot of these bigger YouTubers, people are, I don't even know. I don't even understand this, to be honest. They are so quick to jump down somebody's throat that they're not faking videos. This is real. That's what kills me. Even if you can feed them all this information or show it or prove it or whatever, they're still there to protect their asses that they're real. That's what kills me.
It gets me every time.
I just don't get it. Like we had a show. I think it was on Patty's show, Patty Adams show. And she has a podcast. And I said something about Sam and Colby. Well, somebody left a comment in there saying that she was never ever going to watch this channel, and how dare you insult Sam and Colby? They're my best friends and stuff like that. And it was like, really? Like, seriously? Like,
would they be your best friends if they weren't making loads of money from lying to people?
I think it's just more the entertainment thing of it. You know, like for me, what I get from that is if they're going to do that, I think I'd rather do like a spoof of the paranormal. At least I know it's not real. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a spoof. and it would keep me out of trouble. I mean, if
The best example of this, right? Let me see how many channel followers he's got now. There's a YouTuber, I think he's Russian. His name is Tim Morozov. I don't know how he gets a lot of views. He gets about upwards of 3,000 views a video for his paranormal videos. In the beginning of every video, he has a text that comes up in Russian that when you translate it, it says these videos are purely fiction and along those lines. It's entertainment only or whatever like that. And I respect him for it. The dude pulls numbers and probably makes money. And he's not lying to everyone. The videos are very entertaining. Because you go in there knowing you're there to be entertained. And I have no issue with him for doing that. I mean,
He puts it in Russian though, right?
Because he is Russian.
Yeah, and I get that, but most people are not going to do what you did and translate it. I
don't understand why you wouldn't if it's in the beginning of every video.
Okay, well, it's the same thing as why somebody coming at me because I said something about Sam and Colby faking videos.
Because all their fans are kids.
Same thing. It's ridiculous. But anyhow, other than that, this is the great debate in our industry.
I have one more thing to call out though.
Okay.
And I didn't want to tell you this. It's a little surprise for you.
Now, is it about me or did you watch one of my videos?
It's about someone it's about someone you know though.
Oh no, don't say that.
No, it's not a fake person, don't worry. It's something I'm seeing on Twitter and it's really grinding my gears.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of you in the chat that have known me for a while, and you all share the same view on me with certain paranormal channels that we just don't give them time. It pisses us off that they ruin our reputations by faking stuff. One of these, and if he knows I've said it, I don't want him to take it in a bad way. I'm talking about Adventures with Nubs.
Oh, okay.
I love Nubs, a great guy.
Yeah,
but he's done this thing, and it pisses me off when I see everyone doing it. It'd be the same if I was to post this, right? There was name your top 5 paranormal inspirations on Twitter. And he's tagged Jody Dean, oh my gosh. I don't know who, there's 3 more. They're all renowned faking channels. But he's been on shows with me when I used to do the old thing with that company where we shit on these people. And he has an opinion on people faking things.
Yeah, and sorry for cutting off, but from what I understand, he's been hanging out with them as well now.
But this is why I'm going to get pissed off then, because you don't stand by your convictions. I will say this to every single. I don't care if Jody Dean speaks to me one day, and I'm not. And even if me and him hung out and I got to know him and he's a nice guy, I would never change my opinion that he's a scumbag for ripping people off and faking shit, and the stuff he's done in his videos that I've called him out for. I just don't understand that rhetoric. You can't be in a community where we want that side of it shunned out because it's ruining it for everybody. And then you're going to say, oh, these are my inspiration. This is why I became a YouTuber.
Yeah, and you know what, Lex, I saw that. But it was on Facebook. I saw it. And I was in his group, his Facebook group. I am no longer in his Facebook group when I saw that.
This upsets me a bit because he's a really good guy, and I really like Nubs.
Great guy,
really great guy. That's why I said nothing against him. But he did stand us up once.
Yeah, he stood us up on our show,
and it's he's been on this show. He's been on show with us when we've sat here and said stuff, and we've asked him how do you feel about people doing this? And he's not been nice about it. And it's just when I saw it today, it just really something inside me just kind of snapped a little bit, and I was just like, I don't understand how you can tolerate them if you're trying to legitimize a field.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that when I saw that. He did a video with Omar not too long ago, and it was up on Facebook, and I saw it, and I said, "Okay, I'm done with this group," and I left the group. So I think it was YouTube 101. It was called the Facebook group.
I don't want to call it. I don't want to accuse him of clout chasing, but if the shoe fits,
he is clout chasing.
But yeah,
and you know what? And that's something that I was disappointed in. Also, I'm a huge fan. I love Dominic and from 13 Spirits Paranormal, and he does this show with Nubsy on Friday nights. It's called YouTube 101, I believe. And I wanted to reach out with Dom a couple of times and say, you know what, you really need to speak to Nubsy. If if he wants to legitimize this industry like we all do, he needs to get away from that. But you know what? Not to say anything bad about Nubsy, but I love the guy. I appreciate him. It's been a while since I've spoken to him, but have you seen his place?
No, I haven't spoken to him for a long time. So
Have you seen his place?
Mm-mm.
I understand why he's trying to get money from YouTube now, because his place is not the nicest in the background. And,
it might not be, but I don't,
yeah.
if you're selling yourself out for money, then
he's
you've lost a
definitely
ton
doing
of
that.
then you've lost a ton of respect from myself, but also
Unfortunately,
from your peers in the field, because
yeah.
you've spoke out against them. So,
Well,
but I
this
just wanted
is
to get it off my chest. But yeah, that's it.
well. I'm glad you did, because I saw it. What was it? 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. I saw something about with him and Omar, and I left the group right after that. I don't want anything to do with that. I love you, Nubsy, but honestly, once you get into that crowd, you're going down the wrong path. That is for sure. And he's doing it for one reason and one reason only, and that's cloud chasing. So, which is unfortunate. But anyhow, other than that, Anthony, this has been one hell of a long show. I don't think we've done 2 hour show in a very, very long time. It's been a long time, but I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed getting to know you better. Everyone, again, I said it in the middle of the show. If you could go down below, hit those links, follow this guy, and watch his show on Parapost Network Central. His podcast. It's a great, vodcast. We should really straighten that out. It's a podcast.
No one calls it vodcast. Podcast.
I know, but that's
is.
what it really is, though.
Stop being a granddad. It's called a podcast.
Podcast.
No, actually, a granddad would say podcast.
No, a
newbie
modern
would say
person would say
vodcast.
podcast, because vodcast sounds stupid.
We don't even know what you're talking about when you
It's
say
a
that.
It's
podcast.
a vodcast.
It's
'cause
not.
we're on video.
Doesn't matter if you're on video.
Oh God! Now now that we talked about Nubsy, I forgot that I need to go unfollow his YouTube channel.
I did that already.
Yeah, I need to go unfollow that. I just thought about that. Anyhow,
it sounds petty, but
it
I
does, well,
I
no,
defend
it
my
doesn't,
field.
because the principle is there.
That's what I mean.
We all have
principles.
principle.
Mhm.
And if you're a strong believer in getting rid of this in our field, then you stop following those channels.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing petty about that.
No, it's a shame.
It is a shame.
It is, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
At me.
Anyways, Anthony, thank you very much for being on today's show. Hopefully, you'll be able to watch us later on Global Ghost Hunt, the party, at 8:00, which is in 2 hours.
Yep,
And hopefully you're around. I'm glad you took today off for us. That was nice of you.
I took the day off because I was tired. No,
Well,
I'm joking.
we're thinking it's more about
no, it's because I wanted to be on with Bryan and Lex, man. That's why.
I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to be?
Forget work, man. Forget work.
Oh God!
Who needs to
forget
get paid?
money and responsibilities and stuff like
forget
that.
all that.
I want to be on with Bryan and Lex. Anyways, Anthony, thank you so much for being on today's show. I'm going to say my goodbyes, and
I
we'll
do
definitely
have
talk to you soon.
I do have a podcast coming up 7 Central tonight.
Oh yeah, that's right, with Anna, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and she is actually bringing her podcast to Parapost Network Central as well. So looking forward to seeing that. Anyhow, Lex.
Yep. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been a pleasure to listen to you. Maybe hopefully down the road we'll get you on again.
Oh yeah, I'll be around.
And I hope that
West
you
Texas.
and I hope that you do get to find a way to help that spirit out that was causing you a lot of hang-ups. So I hope you get to sort that out in the future as well. So it'd be good to know if you do get to go back there. But yeah, thank you for your time today. It's been a pleasure. And Drew, he does stalker videos now.
Okay, Anthony, have a great one, buddy.
All right, thank you for having me.
Okay, man. Wow, it's been a while since we've done a show this long, to be honest.
I know, and I'm doing it with one eye.
You are, Ken Jr. Ken didn't come in the room today,
No, he didn't.
so hopefully he sees the replay,
Fingers
and
crossed.
he can actually call you Ken Jr. now.
Maybe.
Yeah. Pay. There you go. Maybe that's what the real problem is.
Maybe.
If it was, he wouldn't. Well, maybe he still would have a laptop. He'd just go power it at somebody else's place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, Drew. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate that. And if people don't know, Drew is part of Global Ghost Hunt. She is a volunteer for locations. Yes, locations. So, Joanna. It's always a pleasure seeing Joanna in the room. And nice to see a fellow Canadian. She's from Quebec, yeah. So, anyhow, everyone, I want to thank everybody that came to the show today and watched and stuck around for the 2 hours. That was really, really nice of you. Hopefully, we'll be up next week. You'll know sometime during the week if we're going to be up next week because I'll put a posting.
Well, it's Christmas Day next week, so we're not doing it.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it Christmas Day next week?
Yes.
Oh, God. Does it even feel like Christmas?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like Christmas at all.
I work in a hospitality restaurant, so
There you go. Yeah.
it feels like
Thank you,
Christmas every
Cal.
day.
Thank you, Cal, for coming up in the room today. I like Cal. Yeah. She had a show with Steven for Barrelings.
Nice.
Now she's coming out with a new show.
Nice.
Hopefully it'll be good. No, see, Cal agrees with me.
Well,
Doesn't
that's
feel like
fine.
Christmas at all.
That's for
So
me.
you're right.
But also, the week
And
after
same
that
thing with
is-
Joanna, too. Joanna
Yeah.
said the same thing.
Well, they're allowed
No.
to be wrong. It's fine.
No, well,
But also, the week after that is my birthday, so I also won't be here.
so maybe what I'll do is I'll get Cal to fill your spot. What do you think, Cal? Would you like to fill Alexa's spot for not next week, the week after? I never got a tree up, nor did I.
No. Well,
Well, Lex is the reason Lex is feeling like it's Christmas because of this.
every
It's not
damn
a
day.
sweater, actually. It's a jumper.
Every damn day.
So, Kel, would you like to come up on? Depends on the date. So, look at not next Sunday, the following Sunday.
It'll
That
be
would
the 1st of January.
yeah, which is the start of the new year.
It is.
So, having
But
Kel
my-
on the show would be great.
Yeah, because my birthday's
Something-
on the 30th, so I'll be partying.
Something nice to
hell.
look at instead of looking at you.
You do what you want, bro. I'll be celebrating. I'm turning
Are you?
30.
Not on the first,
No, but I'm having a massive bender weekend. So,
are you? Okay.
yes,
Kel, I think you should come up, and then you can promote your new show.
do it. And
Yeah,
I'll
sure, why
check
not?
into
There
the
you go.
comment section while I'm out.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sure, why not? I'd love to have Kel as a co-host.
Do it.
Maybe if you eventually leave, I'll bring Kel as the
What do you
new
mean
co-host.
eventually leave?
Well, if you eventually leave, I don't
Never
think you will.
Never gonna
But
happen.
if you did,
Nope, never gonna happen. But that's the show, guys. It's been 2.5 hours. I'm going to bed. So thank you very, very much.
oh, you're not going to be on shows tonight. You're not going to be coming up tonight.
I can't. I've got to work early in the morning, and I've got to keep this thing rested.
Okay.
So, I can't
So
be on any
tonight,
more
people,
screens.
here it is again. So tonight, this is on at 8:00. If you're going to stop by, great. It will be on Parapost Network Central. I hope hopefully we'll see you guys there. But again, everyone, thank you. Kel, we'll talk about it more. We'll talk about it more through Messenger. And Kel, you need to sign up to Parapost Network Central or Parapost Network, the app, before you can be a co-host on the show. Just letting you know. Right, Lex?
Yep.
It's imperative that you have to be, in order to be on this show as a co-host, you have to be on Parapost Network, the app. There you go. See? There you go.
All done.
All done. Another subscriber. And have a wonderful day. Enjoy, Lex. Happy birthday. Yeah, your birthday's coming up. It's going to be a
I
lot
know.
of fun. Yeah,
will
that's
be.
great. 5 days after, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, guys, again, everyone, thank you for coming in the room and watching our long ass show. It was great. That was a lot of fun.
It was a
Time
lot
went
of fun.
by really, really quickly. And I enjoyed that. Oh, one more thing.
global ghost hunt means to me.
Sorry, Raymond. I had to do that one more time. Come on, that's funny.
It is funny.
I like it. I know he doesn't, but I like it. Anyhow, we're babbling on again, aren't we?
Yes.
Or I am. Well, you. I hope your eye gets better, and I guess you won't be on the show for a couple of weeks.
Not for 2 weeks. I'll see you a lot in the new year.
But I'm gonna miss you.
Hey, hate the game, don't hate the player.
See, look at this.
No, I've got to go. I've got to rest this
I
eye.
know you do. I know you do. Okay, everyone. We will see you next week, and then the week after we'll have a new co-host.
You won't see them next week. It's Christmas
Well,
Day.
I might still do the show.
No one is going to watch the show on Christmas Day.
Okay.
We didn't do it last year for the same reason.
Okay, everyone. Have a great night, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Stay safe, stay spooky. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Much love. Mwah.